Steel worker Vladan Stepanovic and hundreds of his co-workers have been protesting against the government for weeks. Here outside the parliament of Montenegro, they blame Prime Minister Milo Đukanović for the country's widespread poverty. And they hold him responsible for election fraud, corruption, and nepotism.
As long as this government stays in power, Montenegro cannot be a democratic country. If nothing changes, my family and I have no choice but to leave.
Đukanović first rose to power in 1991. He and his party have dominated politics in the small Balkan republic ever since. Đukanović has been prime minister and president, and he's also a businessman. While he and his clan have become multi-millionaires, many ordinary citizens despair of the future.
The problem is not just an economic crisis. The problem is also the lack of moral values. The government came to power after 1990 and the collapse of Yugoslavia. And since then, everything has fallen apart.
He wants to show us what he means and takes us to the steelworks in Ničić. He was one of 7,000 steelworkers once employed here. The Đukanović clan oversaw its sale, far below value. Kickbacks worth millions were allegedly paid in the process, and the Đukanović family lined their pockets. The steelworkers have watched their livelihoods be destroyed. An entire industry has been wiped out here in the region. To Vanja Čalović, who heads an anti-corruption organization, the steelworks sell-off is just one example of the government's wheeling and dealing. But few dare to speak out.
If you are not supporting the governing party, if you are fighting against corruption and organized crime, then certainly you're going to be attacked and pressured.
When Čalović went public about election fraud, she experienced firsthand the consequences of speaking out. Pro-government newspapers launched a witch hunt against her, publishing photos designed to undermine her credibility.
I believe that it is the biggest proof that we are seriously undermining corrupted structures in the government and organized crime structures which are connected to the executive.
But many of the steelworkers in Ničić are resigned to their fate. Poverty is rampant. Many now live in barracks close to the steelworks. Bribery is the only way they can come by a new job.
The situation has become so bad that many of my former colleagues come to me to ask for a liter of milk. Otherwise, they can't feed their kids.
A growing number of Montenegrins are now seeking asylum in Germany in the hope of escaping corruption. But their own government refuses to acknowledge what's happening.
I don't have any kind of knowledge that corruption or any criminal activities in Montenegro are caused this phenomenon called asylum seekers from Montenegro. Who are asylum seekers even now? They are just, I'm afraid, but a little bit poor people with less education, with less knowledge.
To Vladan Stepanovic, such statements are ludicrous. He's a skilled worker and all he wants is a job, without paying bribes, without strings attached. If he can't find that here, he might leave for Germany.